eyes that occur here, the kind of battle happening outside of the window. But really, this particular portfolio, he kind of made it after a little bit of the political kind of turmoil that had been happening and the uncertainty and chaotic sphere that he felt was happening all around him. And so this is his kind of response to it by taking historical engravings, which prints were originally made for political purposes. They were spreading kind of political cartoons or political messages. So prints have a long political history, and this is him kind of embracing that side of it. This is actually very different work for him, actually. He doesn't really make anything like this before. So.
I always end up liking the white plate better.
No, well, the shine of the...
Yeah, the paper was soaked and then it was blotted so that there was no excess moisture on it, so that the fibers could sort of soften up and expand a little bit.
Well, and I mean, some artists actually use that as the art, that could be a piece.
Some do actually use the copper. Neri Ward, there's an artist who actually, maybe several months ago, was at the Kemper.
Okay.
There was a giant kind of copper piece of a size copper marks on there. Sometimes the plate is actually used.
With the ink on it? I'm just curious.
Sometimes, depending on the preserver, that's kind of more of a museum sort of responsibility, an archivist's responsibility to decide whether they want ink in there.
Do you cancel the plate?
You can, yeah. Usually you cancel the plate by just scratching a large X right through it and then printing an impression of that called the cancellation proof.
So this probably is like done, Nancy, but for each print you make, you go through the process you just showed us.
I would then pick the plate back up and repeat it all again. Yeah.
So you're making how many?
Each one of these, there are 10 printed, or 10 that are in addition, that are the exact same. But there's probably been, I guess we probably printed about 25 of each of these, just to get it kind of right. If there were little inconsistencies, things I didn't like in them, I would kind of just say, like, that's not good enough or something. This is an impression that I would say is great. The cool thing about this, the great thing too about these places, they're kind of remarkably consistent. They wipe really quickly. This is a fairly quick printing process.
They don't wear away or anything?
They will kind of wear away a little bit, but they hold up pretty high. I mean, like I said, I've done about 25 to 30 of each one.
So interestingly, all of us where we were, but I learned that if there's an addition of 25, number one is not necessarily any better than number 25. It's arbitrary.
It is.
Even the master printer or the artist as to how they number them.
So the numbering, the ritual, the numbering part, I mean, basically what I would do is I would take this and put it in a drawing blotter, basically. But then, and then they would inevitably get shuffled. There's no thing that I'm sort of doing where I'm like, this one is number,
I just went 1, 2, 3,
But basically, we'll stack it out. I will kind of go through and I will dictate, these 10 here look exactly the same. I'm going to set them aside. These 5 over here are the ones that the artist has declared that he wants to keep as his own artist proofs. 2 over here are also the same. These are for the printers, basically the printer's proof, and then which I would get one, and anybody else who prints them gets them, and then if there are any trial proofs. So there's a whole, the Tamarind website has a list of terms basically that can kind of illuminate that. But then basically I'll have stacks there ready for Ted, and he'll come and sit down and he'll sign each one, so they're signed in an order. But there's no value-wise, they're the exact same.
But it still means the 50th one may not be as valuable as the first one.
No.
Not at
all. That's what I'm saying. That's a misunderstanding we all have.
If you want to talk a little bit about value, trial proofs differ from the edition, and those ones are maybe a little bit slightly more unique. But trial proofs are kind of more for record's sake. They're not intended to be kind of sold out. If they do get sold, they would be a little bit more expensive because those are truly unique in that moment.
Right.
And sometimes an artist can do what's called a variable edition, which means each print is exactly, they look the same, but there's something different in each one. Ted actually did a whole portfolio of variable editions. It's the same photographic image, but he used different background colors, essentially. So you'd get one, and there would only be one that existed in red or one that existed